Hi, welcome back to CarsAddiction.com. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ryan and we share car-related content every Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday is a short snippet of any car encounter I come across, and Sunday is a full-fledged video of a project I'm doing, one of my cars, or anything car-related. Now, this week we're going virtual. It is literally blistering hot in Malta at the moment, reaching up to 40 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna go and visit the past, back to 1998 to be exact, when the most epic game has been released. That would be Gran Turismo, which was available on the PlayStation. Now, thanks to today's technology, we can easily install this on a phone or actually PC using an emulator and ROM. And how to do that, you can find the link in the description below. But this video is mostly talking about Gran Turismo and going through the gameplay and seeing what we are missing out on from back then. Now, this video is going to be a sort of walk around the menu of Gran Turismo and talking about how we can use it sort of as a shopping list now that we are older. Now, for those of you who don't know what Gran Turismo is, it was a game that was released in 1998 and had about 180 cars. That might seem a lot right now, but back then games were being released with 10 to 20 cars, and the only thing you could modify maybe is color. Now, Gran Turismo bought 180 cars from 10 different manufacturers. Plus that, you can actually tune each car, with actual real life scenario elements such as airbox, exhausts, weight reduction and whatnot. It was something unheard of games back then. Now, the thing that actually boosts Gran Turismo from other games back then was that it gave you real life cars. Not any kind of supercars which are not affordable by the common public. It actually had cars that were affordable that you can relate to, like you could drive whatever your dad had into the video game. You could have driven a Toyota Celica, you could have gotten a Honda Civic, you could have gotten a Nissan Primera. It was fantastic. You could actually experience the car that you could see in the streets in the video game, and they have same characteristics: front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, understeer, oversteer. It was all in the game. I have no idea how they compact all this information to a single CD-ROM, but it's there. Now, it is actually easy to set up your PlayStation emulator on your computer or phone device. I'll have a link in the description below on how to do that, but let's jump straight into the game. This is gonna be epic. I haven't touched this game in years. I used to play this every single day in the late 90s. Now, the reason why I am going to play this is to act like sort of as a catalog of JDM cars, see what I remember and all that, because the first time I actually, got into JDM cars was this. Internet wasn't a thing and we only relied on video games or magazines. So yeah, we have the arcade mode. Let's go through that quickly. I remember playing a lot with my brother. You have a very limitation of brands over here. And what the thing I like about Gran Turismo is that they actually have the actual, the colors that were provided by the cars. So you have the deep blue pearl metallic, the midnight purple, the Arctic white, I think. Okay. So yeah, that was the arcade mode, but the real thing about Gran Turismo and all the 180 cars, all the manufacturers are in the simulation mode. This really brings up memories. I urge you guys to hook this up onto your phone or onto your PC. It's quite easy. I've provided a link in the description below to do so. Okay, we're presented with the home menu. It's quite actually, it's like a map. You have the manufacturers. Okay, we have our license where we race. And we have a car wash and machine test. So obviously if we go to home right now and go into our garage, it's empty and we can see that we have like 10,000 credits. That's how you start the game with, to either to start gaining more credits, you start racing, but to race you need to do the license. Now I don't have time to do all the license, so I'm quickly going to resume the game, and I'm going to enable some kind of cheats. So let's give us some lot of credits and all license. Okay, that should do it. So I have lots of credits and everything in gold. That's great. Let's go back to full screen. Okay, let's quickly go through the manufacturers. Now, not all of them had used cars. Obviously, with Aston Martin, DB7 was the in thing in 1998. Okay, we have yellow, dark green, silver, dark gray, and whatnot. They give you the quick specs of the vehicle, which is quite nice. And there's like an information which we can read. And obviously we can buy. Okay. Let's go out. There's Dodge. What does Dodge have? Okay, we have the Viper of the time, the RT10. Okay, then we have the GTS. Oops, bear with me, still getting used to the controls. Oh, this is lovely. I really need this in blue and white stripes, definitely. Okay. And then we have a concept car, which you earn one after you win a race or so. So that was the concept car back then. And we have the tune-up. You got to tune this is what's the nice thing about Gran Turismo that no other game at the time was offering. You get to turn specific parts of the car. So the exhaust, brake components, engine, transmission, turbo, suspension, tire. And the best thing about others is if you go racing modification, you get the livery on the car, which is quite nice. And obviously boost in power. So if I go and buy, it does not tell me the BHP before I buy. But if I go into another sort of option, it should. So my current BHP is 440. If I do a sports exhaust and air filter, it goes to 463 HP. Okay. Another thing I like to test out while we're here is, so let's get back into the DB7. Now I'm not really into this DB7, especially red. I just chose this random. Dodge is offering me 75,000. If I go to Aston Martin, would they offer me more? They will offer me more, yeah. Well, it's typical. So yeah, this is what we love about Gran Turismo. It's realistic. Okay, let's go to Toyota. Now, Toyota, we do have some more options, actually. They have the special model, the LM car at the time. I really love that for my garage, buying that as well. Great. Okay, we have used cars. Oh, still getting used to the controls. Sorry about that. We have the used cars. So the buy and sell becomes in the used car option over here. And we have a limited number of cars for sale. Now, if you see on the bottom left of our screen, we have day one. This changes by day, actually. So the stock changes. So we have the A86, the third generation Supra, and even the new ones. I guess they're at a discount price. So I do like an A86 in my garage. Let's see if they have the Panda one in stock. So there's this one, the 11. Do you have a Triano? Yes, yes. Obviously, we cannot change the colors, but the price is only 7,900. Again, we have the specs for this and information, which is epic. So buying that for a garage. Okay, while we're here, actually, I'd like to see what the race spec for this looks like. I wasn't the A86 about much that in time. Yep, looks nice. Okay. Got TVR. TVR was a car I actually liked very much in the game. I used to play a lot with the Griffith. If I'm mistaken, I always liked my Cooper Green Metallic. Yep, we're getting one of those as well. I liked how this car slides into corners and drifts. It has the instant power and all that. So that the Viper and the TVR was my non-JDM cars I used to go into. Mitsubishi, let's see what we've got. So we've got, hold on, before we get into it, I forgot to guys to show you to Toyota. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. So many memories. So we got our Starlets. These are nice pocket rockets. And actually a good car to start off with in the game. So after you get your license, you get one of these. Okay, you have your non-GT4 Celicas. Not so for the sought after because might as well go for the Celica GT4. You've got your MR2. Okay. I always liked a yellow MR2 in my garage, so we're putting that in. Okay. Chasers are now very sought after in the US after the 25-year rule. Like I said, this game, even if you're not a gamer, you should install it. It's just like a catalog. If you can see, even though I'm changing the colors, it actually gives me the exact color name of the car in that time. So white, pearl, metallic, wine red, it's actual color names of the car. And you've got all the information. You don't need Wikipedia. Obviously, Toyota has 2 pages. We got the GT4. Chaser, there's a Tourer V, which is more expensive, more BHP and more extras. Let's even have the spoiler, maybe a specific color as well. That cream color we didn't see before. We have the Supra SZR, the Soarer. This is, I think, a specific model that wasn't available in Europe or Japan. And then we have the epic Supra RZ, top of the line Toyota back in 1998. Really nice. I think I'll go with a Civil Supra. Can't go wrong with that. Now, what GT1 doesn't have, what GT2 has is the change of wheels, which was really nice add-on in Gran Turismo 2. You cannot change the wheels of the car, but what you can do is after you play around the game, your car gets dirty. It comes like a matte color and you can actually wash it for 50 credits. The cars are brand new. I haven't put any mileage on them. I'm not sure if we can see the mileage of the car. No. Okay, let's go into Mitsubishi. Mirage, the FTO. FTO is a very undepreciated car. I'm not sure why everyone forgets about it. Let's find a non-black one. The shape is really nice. I used to like them. Really used to like those cars. Although they're forgotten because they're front-wheel drive and they're 200 horsepower. But mind you, the Honda Integra is the same BHP. I have no idea why these cars are really undepreciated. A nice car to have is the GTO. I like any generation. Actually prefer the pop-up lights one like this. These cars can actually get into high horsepower. What I used to like is going into the rally art section of the game and just fully spec out my GTOs. The handling of the cars is unbelievable and it's a monster. So we started off with 230 brake horsepower. Obviously, since we're going with big BHP, we need to stop better. Obviously, since we have a limited amount of money, we can buy everything. But let's see how quickly we can, like, tune this car up. So that does a small BHP increase. Port polishing, another small part. Okay. Still getting used to the controls, guys. Sorry about that. Back to rally art. Engine balancing. Little increases. It is so realistic. Now, natural aspirated tune. This car is a turbo. This is very strange, but we're doing it anyway. So let's go to turbo. This is where we see our big increase. Nope, we cannot do a turbo kit. Okay, actually, is that because we did the NA tune? Okay. Next time we don't do the NA tune. Obviously, since we did big power, we must go for better tires. We'll go for racing and do a, I'm guessing a soft hard compound will do. Another thing with Gran Turismo 2 is according to the tires, you can have a different set of wheels, which is nice. Others, and we like to reduce our weight. Oh, okay. forgot about this requirement. You have to do it stage by stage. Okay, wonder if we can get our turbo now. Still no turbo. Okay, if we go into our garage, go into there, we can see our GTO has been boosted to 380 horsepowers. If we go into the race, let's go to quick race, Sunday Cup, the first game you're ever going to play after getting the B license. Obviously, since we have a 380 horsepower car, we're going to whip up the ass of the competition. Obviously, I am at a disadvantage to the computer because the controllers are not sort of fluent for me. Okay. Oh, I'm doing qualifying. Not to worry. Always for. Okay, unfortunately, I had to reset the game. It just crashed on me. So yeah, we left up Mitsubishi. There's a GT twin turbo as well, which I forgot to mention. Like I said, this is like a shopping list of cars, which brings back the golden years, the late 90s. Yeah, like my blue Mitsubishis. Okay. What else we have? And the Lancer. I haven't known about the Lancer. You know, it wasn't on my radar back then, but you know, now I'd love to see them. I'd like to have them in my garage. Wicked. See what we have. New cars. The Mirage was very, you know, weak of a car compared to Toyota Glanza, another competition. I'd rather have spend more and get the FTO. We obviously have the Eclipse from the Fast and Furious. Okay, we have the Galant. Ooh, that is nice. Is there the VR4? Whoa, okay. If you don't know what the VR4 Galant is, look into it. It's basically a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4, I guess, but more luxurious. You see, as you can see, it has the same BHP. And it comes in two-tone as well. It's quite nice. It's a very underrated car, that. Next. And yeah, we have our two GTOs. Can emphasize how cool you have Galaxy White, Hamilton Silver, Pyrenees Black, Passion Red, Timber Green, Miranda Blue. The exact color names of what you could see in the brochure. Okay, now I do not remember Acura on my version. I guess we loaded the sort of US version for this. If you notice in each manufacturer, the game sound changes. So it brings up good memories. So let's go into the used. We have our Del Sols. They used to be very popular where I'm from. So I used to always have a Del Sol in my garage. Let's get a Del Sol as well. Is there a green Del Sol? No, they're red or black. You got your, I'm thinking a 4th generation Prelude. I love Civics. My first car was a sedan. Unfortunately, it's not available in the GT1, but it's available in GT2 version. But this car has a soft spot in my heart. And it's actually a car I used to go to as well during the game. We got the SI version. They're all SIs. That's red. Random. And again, the color names match exactly what the manufacturer used to produce. No generic code names. Love Honda Preludes, Civics, NSXs. Obviously, this is 1998, so obviously the older the car, the cheaper you can get it. But you know, it doesn't matter. So this is Cranberry Pearl Metallic. I wonder how much would one cost these days in this color. That is a rare color. Quasar Gray, Sebring Silver. These cars have went out of control on prices. Now, I always like my whites and SXs, but since I never actually seen a cranberry, where is it? I lost it. Never saw a cranberry red. I think I'll go for this one. Cool. Let's go with special model they have. Obviously the NSX, the red one. The NSX is a really good car in the game. If it's tuned, stock form, it's not so much. You really have to modify it to come into its own. It's actually nice, actually, transformation race modification. New cars, obviously we're gonna hopefully see some EK Civics. Since it's 1998, they were still in production until 2001. So that is nice. We have our, so this is the Civic 3-door, 106 bhp. I think this is the 15 version. So let's check our power, torque, engine type. Okay, this is actually the 97 cubic inch. This is the small liter. So Civic Racer. Okay, this is our 1.6 VTEC. This is actually the Type R, actually. I wonder why they didn't give it a Type R. I think in the European version, it was as a Type R. So there's small differences between the European and the US version. You can already notice. Accord, which one was popular back then? Okay. Now, I used to go a lot with Hondas because you could see them around. And you could sort of play what car you see in the streets in your game, which was kind of cool. I actually own the 5th generation Honda Prelude in blue. So it's not available in the Type SH. See if it's in the basic version. Yes, I had the Super Marine Blue Pearl once upon a time. Really loved the car, very comfortable to drive. Had really low mileage, I think 60,000 miles. This is really cool, actually. Wait, we forgot. There's the next page. Okay, how could we forgot? There's the Integras. You cannot not have an Integra in your garage. Love the white Hondas, so that's gonna go into the garage. And the NSX Type S is 0, is 976 horsepower at 9,800 pounds. What's the Type S at? Okay, the Type S is a bit heavier. Do you guys know the difference between the Type S0 and Type S? I know there's a gentleman's agreement, so it's not actually 276 horsepower, it's actually more. But that's what they had to put on it. But I'm just gonna go for the Type S on its own because it's more expensive. We rather have a cranberry blue one, red one, so we'll just go for a nice black one. Berlina black. Let's get into the game. Okay, Chevrolet. Okay, as you can notice, the JDM cars is the only ones with second-hand cars. The other manufacturers only have limited because this is a Japanese game, but it's still in the game. So it's, you know, it's not like they didn't do anything. They actually put it into the game. Subaru. So we actually have the Imprezas and Legacies, very limited and different versions. So I am a big Impreza fan. I actually have an Impreza and I adore Colin McRae back then, the Impreza Rally WRC back then. And the one to have is just the Type R. Okay, get a white one. That mimics what we have actually. Okay. Wonder is what is secondhand on the Impreza. So we have the SVX. It's quite nice. But what I actually love to have in my garage is a wagon. Don't like silver that much, so let's see what colors there are available. An STI version 2. These are actually very rare. They're going up in price as well. So if there's one near you for sale, buy it. I highly recommend going through this, installing it on your computer, and going through the cars because everything is going up in price, whatever thing is in here. So let's see what special model. I'm guessing the WRC color. We need to, WRC car, we need to have it in blue. I actually can't wait to get to race this. So let's actually get into the game. Actually, it's a good idea actually to save the game in the meantime, just in case it crashes. So in the lower right screen, we can see that we have the Impreza selected. Save is complete. Go back to the map. Let's go to machine tests. Okay, go to the max speed. So yeah, this place is a place where you can go without the license. I really forgot if there's actual proper sounds of the cars. The Impreza is going to be very unique. Now, before we actually start, we could have actually chosen the specifications, ride height, and change the wheels if we had different wheels. So let's just boost up the power. It's just basic sound. But it's not how the Impreza sounds like. Okay. Okay, Nissan, one of our favorite places to go. Nissans have lots of toys to play around. You got the Silvia S13. Okay, the Ks, the Qs. This is where to actually know what the K and Q is from this game. That is a rare color to have. Lime green two-tone. Primera, I always had one of these in my game. It's just because, you know, a neighbor had it and like to have, you know, it in my game. S13s, still in Primera. You have the R32 Skylines in GTS format. The different front grille. This is obviously our rear-wheel drive. In the game, I used to like ignore these and go straight to the GTR. So you have the Type S, the Type M. So the Type M has 212 horsepower. The Type S will have 187. So like if you're playing in the game, might as well, for the 1,000 extra credits, just get it something bigger. Pulsar, this is a car actually I liked because my family had one, a 4-door version though. Nice pocket rocket, very underestimated these days. S14, lovely looking car. R32 Skyline GTR. How can you not have Gran Turismo without that? Now, obviously, I wasn't so much in the R32 Skyline just because there's the R33 with more horsepower. And I think the lines of the R33 are much more beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna get an R33 Skyline. And I remember tuning these up to big BHP. So since we have Nismo enabled here, so one thing I want to check, so from 310 we could go up to 348, but what happens if we go into it sequentially? Would it get it more? No, you still get 348. Okay, now not to do the same mistake we did with the Mitsubishi, let's install a stage 4 turbo. Like a 900 horsepower Skyline. Come on, 879 horsepower. This is the car I used to like dominate in this game with. And if you see my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. And make sure you subscribe because there's going to be a big surprise later on the year. 928 horsepower. NA tuning, yes. This is a game with very big, you know, integrity. Doesn't like you do NA tuning on a turbo car. It's the way it should be. I'm not going to be doing it, but I want to see how the race modification looks. And not bad. Obviously, what we want is the 400R, but you can only get that if you win the, I think, International A license all gold. What thing we didn't go is new cars. So we have the 180s, S14, R33 in GTS format. We didn't see that in the used market. Might be in the day after. Primera, Fair Lady. Surprised this wasn't available in the use, but again, we're still on day one of the game, so those cars would change. And then we have the R33 Skyline. There's all the colors. Obviously, everyone's after midnight purple, but the rarest colors are the dark gray pearl, blacks, the red, and the blue. Okay, one last manufacturer to go is going to be Mazda. And obviously, you're going to have the FD in Mazda or FC. Quite mix them up sometimes. Obviously, I used to always love to have a Miata in my game, the V Special. Can never have enough Miatas. Actually, a fun car to drive around. So yeah, that is the FC, that shape. I usually love the Eunos Cosmo. That is a fantastic car. It's basically an RX-7 like in a suit. This is a really underestimated car. So this Mitsubishi Eunos and the FTO are very underappreciated. And there's the 20B version. The 20B version, I forgot about that. That's 276 horsepower. Come on, guys. That is, any of you ever seen the interior of these cars? They're so modern, even by today's standard. So let's go into the new model. We have the Demio, the ugliest car in the game, and the car that they give you when you win the B license. This straight goes for sale, and you, with the money you earn, you buy your first car. That's the idea. I always love to have Atlantis, a 323F. I like the shape of them, and actually quite capable. I don't know if they ever sort of provided this in the US, but they were common in Europe and Japan. Okay, and we have our RX-7s. Let's go straight into the good stuff. So we have the Touring, the RZ. RZ is the one you want to have, the nice clean shape, only available in black. Let's go to the Touring X. Quite nice. I like my red RX-7s. Even blacks are nice. And then there's the A-Spec with the body kit. Obviously, go buy one in today's market. That this car has shot up in price. Every car in this game has shot up in price, basically. Yep, that's all of the manufacturers. Okay, what I want to do is actually race a bit before disconnecting. So we are in our, so actually let's go into our garage. I want to check out the 20B, sorry. Okay, I'm going my Sunday drive on my 20B Mazda. Okay, I need the license, so bear with me. Just hope the game doesn't crash on me. Okay, I got my license. Go back to full screen. Please let me play. Okay. Loading, loading, loading. You can get a drink in the meantime. This is 1998. I don't want to start qualifying, so how do I skip qualifying? I think we used to actually start the qualifying and just... No? Sorry, yes? I think we could just start and just skip it straight away. Skip qualifying. You have to do that every time. I have a powerful car, so it doesn't matter if I start behind the grid. Okay. See the wheels turning. There's 3 views. That's the rear view, front view, and those 2 kind of views. Slow pacing. And we're spinning out in a rear-wheel drive Cosmo. There's no crash damage or anything like that. But what it has is the car gets dirty after a few years, which is quite nice. I don't know why I picked the Cosmo. I was very excited, but if you ever actually seen one of these, they are really unique. Yeah, so I suck. We have Nismo advertisements all around. What else do we have? Nissan, Subaru, Honda, Gran Turismo. Okay. Let's exit. Okay, that did not go as I remembered. Stock cars are very slow, so let's get into our tuned R33. Okay, our R33, get in, okay, race. I wonder which one I used to like. So let's go into all-wheel drive entry. So even if you missed a car in the game, during the races you'll have the grid up and different cars. Even if one gives you a hard time, you know what actually are sort of cars that are actually match your level. But we have to start qualifying. I always used to skip qualifying. I just hate it, waste of time. Skip qualifying and start the race. Okay, we could have done a tune-up, but it's quite good as is standard. And we could actually see who are we competing against. Ooh, this is nice competition. We have a Legacy. What else do we have? Okay, a bit slow off the line, my fault. I didn't rev the car. Okay, now we're off. Okay, found the brake finally. So we have our Legacy. I think that's a Pulsar. Okay, please don't judge me by my driving skills. I'm playing on the keyboard. I need to get a joystick. And this is my first time playing in over 20 years. Okay, let's go. Let's exit. Okay, I just exited. It wasn't comfortable playing on the keyboard. So if you get this game, I do recommend a game controller. I'll link in the description below on what options I'll be getting myself. But we used to have the Grand Valley, the all-nighter. There's so many laps on this one. Oh, and tune car, yeah. Obviously, we got the information before. So the courses and what kind of money you win. What you don't have is what actually car you win after. There's always some nice actually cars when you finish one. So some races are actually worth it. So what I'm gonna do is save my game. And what it's saving, as you see on the bottom left, we're on the day number 3. That means our used car market has swapped slightly. So it has recycled. Maybe there's different cars in different variants and different colors. So let's go into it. And I've been talking without pressing save. That sucks. So if we're in 1998, I have a 3-year-old Skyline in my garage. Okay. Let's go into Toyota. If you remember, there was the old Supras, which we didn't actually click. Let's click on one. So we have our old Supras. We had 2 Corollas in Panda versions. That one is still on the lot. No one bought it. And this one's back up here. Okay, we have another Supra. Not so many people go for the GT Turbo Limited. Might as well go well with the Big Daddy, the twin turbo. That's one is in red. That one is in black. That one's a nice green. What do they call the green ones in dark green mica? Okay. Got Mark II Soarer, Supras. Soarers are quite nice, actually. And Supra in sheep's clothing. So what we're going to do is buy a nice black Supra for the collection. Let's go now. Let's go into Mitsubishi, used cars. Now, if you're lucky, you find some really rare cars on the used car lot. And I think there's like a cheat. I'm seeing actually the same cars. I'm not sure if they change after a week or so. I could be wrong. Going again, different menu sounds after each manufacturer, which is nice. Ooh, a nice blue Civic. Let's have it. Captiva blue. Yeah, so yeah, if you are actually on a budget and want to buy a bunch of JDM cars, just get into this game and put everything in your garage, put in the cheat code, and have a field day out of it. Okay, Legacy. These are quite actually nice, underrated cars. So what I'm gonna do quickly is go in and out of game just to get into the day numbers. I want to see what happens after a week. Now there are some rare cars. I actually never experienced them because I never actually passed the whole game back then. Which are quite nice to see, especially the 400R. I really want to see that into the game. So that's script qualifying and see what we have against us. And let's not do the same mistake. Let's start the car at full throttle. Okay, I think that's a Mitsubishi. Okay, we have a Silvia S14, a Demio, EK Civic, and I want to say this is a Silvia. Let's change the views. Bear with me. Which one is for the view? I think this is a Toyota Corolla or 11, Toyota 11. Yep, that's a Toyota 11. Not very common to see those. But yeah, it exists. It's in the game. It's in real life. I know there's one or two on the island. Unfortunately, they're not so popular because they are front-wheel drive. Let's get out of this. I used to remember being on a very tight budget, going in and out of the races just to see the used car market. So let's check what Mazda has. Okay. It will change eventually, though. It will change eventually. So what does Mazda Speed have? Obviously, we have a Honda Civic currently in our garage, so they're not gonna Mazda Speed our Honda Civic, but they can sell us a nice special edition. That is epic. That is epic. That's so nice. And obviously, what's the best thing about this is you can have your mate come in with his own memory card and trade you in cars, which was quite nice. It's like cloning the cars he has for you, which is quite nice. And you could actually play in multiplayer mode with that. So we get onto our car wash. Let's get into a car that we actually played with. I'm thinking this option will actually be available later in the game. Cannot wash our car at the moment. So yeah, that's it. Before I tune out, let's go into a nice Dodge Viper. I have to buy that because our game sort of crashed back then. So let's go into our striped Dodge Viper. Okay, and not to wait a long time, let's just go into our machine test and test it for maximum speed. Okay, wonder if we can do a burnout with the smoke. Now, I've specifically chosen this emulator. I've tried million emulators before. It's just I found out this comes out with the best graphics, unlike other ones. And I think you can actually improve these graphics even further. But out of the box dock station is the one to go. So let's check. Yep, there is some smoke. We have some smoke. Okay. So the game dynamics is different from arcade mode. This is more realistic. So we're gonna lose this car very easily on the first corner. Like any other arcade games, it takes time to get up to speed. Plus, it's real thing. So let's find our handbrake. and put it into a slide. Oop, okay, or spin, one thing. Well, that's nice. We got 172 miles per hour and yeah. And what I remember, I don't know if it's Gran Turismo 2 or 1, we used to have how much wear the wheels have, especially on the long ones. Yeah, so that's it. That is Gran Turismo. Thank you for listening to me for these past 10-20 minutes. I really hope you guys get into the game and start playing and relive memories. If you like this overview of this game, I'm sure to sort of grab up some other game from the past and review it. Hope you are subscribed. If you aren't, please do so. Thank you for watching. Take care.